Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renae Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans behind one band. If this is your very first time listening to this show, thank you so much for choosing to listen, because each episode is a fan of the band we're going to talk about, which is Dave Matthews Band. So each episode, a fan of the band comes on the show to talk about why in the world do they listen to this music. You always wonder, why does someone choose the music that they listen to? Whatever it is, what is it about that sound that hooked you? And so each person has their opportunity to share why they've chosen this band. And the beautiful thing about this is Dave Matthews Band started in 1991, and they haven't stopped since. And so this year we celebrate 35 years of Dave Matthews Band music. There's a lot of history. There are people that started following them in 91, people that find them in the late 90s, early 2000s, and even up into the last few years. So everyone's experience is completely different. So whether you choose to listen to episode 25 next or episode 134, you're going to hear something completely different. A different person that brings their story into how they found Dave Matthews Band music and why in the world are they still listening to it after all this time. So this episode's no different than every single one. I have a guest, a fan of Dave Matthews Band on the show to tell his journey with this music. Tell us who you are, where in the world do you live, and tell us something cool about you.
Hello, my name is Derek Boldt. I live in Sandy, Utah, which is about 30 minutes south of Salt Lake City, Utah. Something interesting. I'm a father. I love working on my house. Live music is kind of the thing that me and the whole family do a lot of, whether that's planning vacations to music or just going to our local venues, that kind of thing. Go down to Vegas a lot because it's only 5 hours away. So
that's awesome.
That brings a lot of stuff that is hard to pass up sometimes.
Oh, I bet.
That's what we.
They get a lot of shows there, a lot of big music, residencies. There's a lot.
And then they had to build the Sphere, and it's like,
oh gosh, that's right.
I mean, once Dave goes there, I'm going to sell my house.
Let's talk about that right quick. We will just start there. Let's talk about the Sphere and how everyone is talking about we want Dave Matthews Band there. So many good acts have already put on a show there, and it's incredible. It's incredible what they do. Like, for instance, just, Dead and Company, I watched that, and what they're able to do with all of the screens, literally all the way around them. It's just like a full immersion experience. And we've never had that in the 35 years, right? And so that would be like another level. But will they do it? I don't know. What do you think?
Hard. I mean, Fish plays there. I know Dave's connection with Trey and all those guys, and Dead. My wife just went to No Doubt last weekend.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that was cool.
Yeah, she loved it.
I bet so.
But I can't, everybody that's been there are all these big known names from usually the 90s.
Yes,
80s
exactly.
and 90s. So they fit in there. It's just understanding how to present, I think, the music.
Mm-hmm.
But the fan base is there. It's already built in.
We will fill the building for a month long, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're going to need some time, because if it was just one weekend, that's just not enough time. That's not enough time for the amount of fans that this band has.
Yeah. I mean, the residency's got to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
4 or 5 days, probably.
Gosh, I would want to go all 5 days. And with the way they perform, of never singing the same songs, you feel like you have to be at all of them, because, well, shit, are they going to do something else the next night? It stresses me out, honestly, to think about. It makes me very happy, but it stresses me out.
Yeah. Dave will lose his mind trying to make set lists for that thing.
Gosh, I mean, wow. And no change in the set list, because all of the graphics are going with that music, with that song. So it's all pre-done. But hey.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the production of it all is, how they
Right?
work with the people that are all the graphics guys and stuff for the Sphere, and how
Yes.
all
That
that
would be
comes
such
together. And
amazing.
man, amazing.
So cool just to I like watching the band set up. Well, we don't ever get to watch. I've seen other bands set up, but Dave Matthews Band,
Yeah.
I love all of the things that they have to do to get the show ready. And then even after the show, taking it all down and making sure it's perfect so that tomorrow you can do it all again. Like that
Yeah.
really is super, super cool to me. But let's talk about Dave Matthews Band in your life. Is there a time that you actually remember even hearing about them for the very first time?
Yeah. So I'm a old West Coast guy. So I grew up in Lake Tahoe, and 1995 was the inklings of kind of when it started really getting to us. It
Mm-hmm.
was probably already there for a little while, but I noticed it a little bit more. And it was right prior to when What Would You Say hit MTV. So
Gotcha.
that
Yeah.
song
Yeah.
kind of just, they just went into the stratosphere after that. But they had planned the West Coast tour schedule before that even got released. My
Talk.
grip in Lake Tahoe, they were What Would You Say hits MTV. But prior to that, I had a buddy, Paul, who grew up in Florida, was working in Lake Tahoe with me, and he had tapes.
Oh,
So
yes.
he had frat buddies that all were like obsessed with these guys. And he actually had the tapes, that they passed around. And
Right. Like recorded
so,
tapes, like live
yeah,
shows.
so we would go
Yeah.
back to his place, and he's like, you got to check these guys out. So he was a big Rush fan, but he loved Dave Matthews. And Carter's always, he's not Neil Peart, and Neil Peart's not Carter. They're different. But
Right. Right.
he loved drummers. That was like his thing. So he's like, you got to listen to these guys. And I'm listening, and it's like, holy crap. Come to find out, they're playing Berkeley, California, August 11th, 1995. That was my first show. And I'm like, we have to go. Like, I have to see these guys perform.
Yeah.
So me, my two cousins, and one of my best friends all caravan from Tahoe to San Francisco and saw the show. And I bought at the merch stand, I bought everything after the show. I bought all the CDs, I bought t-shirts. I was just like, my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And that was just a kickoff. And then every time they came back to the West Coast, no matter where it was, I went.
Was that very often in those timeframes? Like, did they travel to the
Like
West Coast very often?
twice a year. I primarily went to like every Shoreline show, the Cal Palace, everything in San Francisco, some in LA, some in
Yeah.
San Diego. Well, that was kind of the where I was able to go. Then started branching out to Arizona and then New Mexico.
How
That's a
old
good
were
one.
you during and I mean, we're all
So
older
21.
now, but like, okay, 21, just trying to set
21.
the scene, like,
'Cause I remember I could buy alcohol.
okay, yeah.
I was like, oh, I can finally. So yeah, 21 is when it started.
What was
And
it like? What were your expectations going into your first show? Because you were listening to live shows. You weren't
yeah,
necessarily listening just to the radio or, anything. You heard live music.
yeah. So that what got me, because my father was in a band with his brothers. I have three uncles, and they played. I grew up kind of going into the garage and listening to practice. So from what I got from them, Dave Matthews, was the improvisation. Like on the
Yes.
tapes, Dave's talking all the time, and they're just farting around. Like they're just
Yeah.
trying to figure stuff out. There's no rhyme or reason to what was happening. They were,
Pun intended, right?
and his voice was just it's so different, obviously now, but
Yes.
just the uniqueness of everything there wasn't anyone else doing it.
Right.
And then
No.
my father heard it, and he's like, what the heck is this? Like
Yeah.
he's like, dude, this is amazing. Because he knew music. He wrote it. He played it.
Right. Right.
So him saying that, and then me going, okay, I got to go check this out. And then the first song they play is Seek Up, which is my favorite song.
Oh my goodness.
And I just stood there, was like, it was at least 15 minutes long. And I was like, this is unreal. How are they
It's
doing
so
it?
completely different, right? Live.
Yeah.
It's so completely
Yeah.
different. And I don't know if it's just because you're present and like, I don't know what it is, but it is so completely different being there.
Yeah. And the chills, and like,
Yeah.
I had never gotten the chills up my back before, and just watching their energy.
Yeah.
And Berkeley, what it was and always is, a general admission. There is no seats in there. So I got close. It was probably one of the closest shows I've ever been to, as far as like to the stage.
Wow.
Then they get popular, and everything's back now.
Wow. So don't you just wish you had videos from those times?
Oh God. Yeah. I wish I had a phone.
My goodness. Right. But none of us did.
No,
I don't
it's
think.
all.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I didn't. But that's all good too, because there's a lot of things that maybe we did in the past that, hey, we're so
Oh
thankful
yeah.
it's not on video.
People
Woo!
people think these kids are bad now. They
There's
have
just
no
no
idea.
proof about earlier generations,
They have
and
no
we are
idea.
thankful.
We got after it.
So you got through with your first show and you were all in. So you go to the back and you're like, I need everything. So you start representing, you're like talking about it, I'm sure,
Yeah.
going back home and just going, guess who I saw, telling anyone that would listen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what were people thinking? Were you able to like bring some people on board? Like, or were a lot of people kind of like, no, that's not my jam? Like,
So there was about a handful of us that I went to high school with and that I still see at shows now.
mhm,
There's about 5 of us out of Tahoe during that era that are like, they still go and I still see them when I go up to Tahoe
that's awesome.
that still kind of follow. But it wasn't, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be huge. And the fan base was great, but it didn't get like that. It
Right,
was,
right.
and every year people would be like, so where are you going this year? Because they know like
You're
my
going.
life revolves around when the tour gets released and what I want to see that year.
Yeah, they caught
So
on.
everybody kind of, the running joke, oh, where are you going? Where are you going this year? Oh, I'm going up to Washington to see Dave. Yeah.
Yep, that's your travel agent now, Dave
Ye-
Matthews.
Yeah, somewhat. My wife has to pull me back because she's like, if I allowed you to do it, you'd go insane. And I was like, oh yeah, I would.
Well, let's go through time. How old were you when you met your wife, and was she a Dave fan?
So I met her in Lake Tahoe I was probably 22, 23, but we only worked together.
Uh-huh.
Jump about 12 years later, I'm up in Tahoe at my nephew's Christmas recital. Her aunt lives up in Tahoe still. We meet again. And it's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh
Had
no, I'm in trouble.
Yep, yep.
So fast forward like 3 years after that, 2006, we got married. But before that, when we were talking, she had already gone to 2 shows in Chula Vista and kind of liked the band. And then I took her to the Dave and Friends show in San Diego. That was our
Wow.
first show.
What a jackpot that you meet someone that loves Dave.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, there's no better thing, right, than to have like that shared passion and both be into it, because it makes life easier. It does.
Yeah. And she understands. I mean, she has fun at the shows, but it's not, I'm focused so much on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've taken her to a lot of cool places and she kind of varies. She goes, yeah, I'll do this or I won't do this.
Right.
But she still enjoys going but she knows that I'm a little bit more, I got to go a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's how this household is too. Like
Yeah.
Justin's, he likes it. It's cool. It's great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
But like also he doesn't want to go to 24 shows in a year. But I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
if
Why
I
not?
can, right? If I can, let's go. I mean, it never gets old. And that's a whole
No.
nother conversation. Is here we are in 2026 and you're still talking about them. So
Yeah,
let's go through time a little bit more. So we get to the 2000s and the band it does some changes, right? Like it's kind of different in the 2000s. What were you thinking as we go into the 2000s and there is a little bit of a sound change? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
And even then we got Butch Taylor. So he brought a different vibe, right? He was the second history. Here's some history. He was actually the second pianist or organist for Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
That's right. And a lot of people don't remember that. We just jumped to Butch.
I bet you that guy regrets it every day.
I don't know,
I should have stuck with these guys.
A lot of people have so many reasons. I think it was either Peter but I think it was Peter that self-announced at some point that like being on the road was just not something he wanted to commit full time to, because if you have a family, which I know the guys do too, it is just living a different lifestyle, right? And it's not for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, when Butch came on, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like that guy
level.
Was unreal.
Yeah, so good.
He added, Buddy is unreal too. He's a different
I love
performer,
all of them.
And that guy can sing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But Butch, I don't know, he just jazzed it up. And him and Carter, if you listen to a lot of that stuff, him and Carter were like they played with each other so much in that era. It's just unreal to listen to them play off of each other.
I've heard someone say that similar thing between Butch and Carter, that they almost, what Butch was able to do when Carter there were maybe some holes in the percussion. It just like they filled each other's gaps, as far as like, and they complement each other so well. And we had Butch for 10 years. It was a good 10 years with Butch. So talk about the 2000s. Did you see any shows? Were you down with like, we can talk about, Dave doing a solo album by himself. How did that make you feel? What were you thinking when that happened?
Yeah. For me, I've always looked at this band like I have a lot of older, like some of my dad's buddies and some of my friends' dads were huge Dead fans.
Mm-hmm.
And they traveled with him. And I think the Dead influenced Dave Matthews a lot in terms of the fan base.
Yeah.
And making sure your fans are the ones that are always going to be kept taken care of.
Yeah.
But I always treat it as like, it's just a blessing every year that I get to see them, no matter what form they take.
Exactly.
And yeah, you always go back to nostalgia because you're so connected to it, depending on when you start.
Right.
But there's plenty of times in all the eras that I'm like, I love that part too. And I love that part. And
yes, there's not
even
been a
the
bad
lovely
part.
ladies. I love the lovely ladies.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of grief, but they added some stuff. And I listened back to those songs and it's like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then all the guests that they bring out, every time it's a guest, it's like, yeah.
Right. I love how they change things up.
They just change. Yeah. The core of it's there, but the improvisation again is just, they're able to take that and just go wherever it goes, not knowing where it's going to go.
Right.
Like, that's the best part.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what this band was built on, was just people playing together that just wanted to jam together. And that's literally how this band was formed, was just musicians that got together and found a groove and was like, let's do this, and then they've done that throughout the 35 years, whether it was Dave and Friends or just bringing guests on into the shows, like you said. They just enjoy playing music and they love having their friends come in and do stuff with them, right? Because how cool, it's going to bring another layer to it. It's going to maybe let them listen to what a different version sounds like, because that's never happened before, right? So it makes it different for them too. Like, whoa, I didn't even know we could do that in that song. And so it does also keep you from getting bored, right? Like, can you imagine the bands that play and they play the same shows every time, all no matter what? Like, to me, that would seem boring. Like, yay, we're doing it. We're singing the music we love and doing all that. But like after 210 times of doing it the same way, I'm a little sleepy.
Yeah. They're artists. They want to create. Like, that's the whole point, is creation. So
on the fly,
however that manifests, you got to go with it, because that's where they need to be.
Right.
Otherwise,
they're so flexible.
They're gonna
able to
call
do
it
that.
quits.
That's right. So when Dave broke out and did his own album, Some Devil, which is literally one of my favorites, and honestly, look how close this is. Da, 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 da.
Oh.
I haven't even opened it yet. Like, I just found it. But what were you thinking? Did you like Dave's solo? I've done a lot of history in because I was wondering, if it wasn't Dave Matthews Band people that played with him, who in the hell did he bring in to do this album? And I encourage anyone that's listening, or if you haven't looked into that, who did they bring? I love that information. So did you like it when Dave went out solo? And when he went out solo, did you think that he was pulling away from the band? I've heard that often, that people were nervous when Dave broke out. Like, dear, is this part over? Do you remember feeling that way?
Yeah, I mean, the solo artist is out of a band, whoever kind of generates the lead, there's always going to be a point in the history of every band where they're going to go solo. Yeah. So the talk amongst my buddies was always like, when's it going to happen?
Okay.
Like I wasn't surprised, but it was like, okay, when is it going to happen? And what happened during that tour before, and what you start trying to fill in the gaps of, is this it? If he really enjoys this level and getting out of the band culture, is it going to force him to do more?
Right.
So, I mean,
but it didn't, right? He slipped right back into Dave Matthews Band and has never done a solo album ever again.
Yeah. And he needs to free Dodo. That's what has to happen.
God, please. I mean, I saw someone in West Palm Beach with a sign that literally had a dodo bird on it, and it said free Dodo.
They got to do it.
I love it. There's so many songs that need to be freed. I can't say it enough. Every show, every time someone asks, what song do you want to hear? Crazy Easy. Easy. It was 2013 was the last time it was played. And that was just like a tease. And it had not been played since 2005. So it's like, come on, dudes. You could do it your best right now.
It's off to a good start.
No, I know. They're bringing out all
They're
kinds of
bringing it
old
out.
stuff, and
Yeah.
I love hearing it. I wonder, for the newer fans, it must feel weird, or does it feel, I don't know how to look at Dave Matthews Band other than the way I've seen it in my life. And so I've always kind of known the music before I went to the shows. I always made that like a thing, or actually that just kind of happened in history because my first show wasn't till 11 years ago. Not that I didn't want to see them. I live in Arkansas, right? So they just don't
Yeah.
come here often. And so that was my first time to get to see them was in 2015. But if you show up to a show, I've been to different concerts, and you have too, I'm sure, how different it does feel to go to a show and not know the music. There is a different feeling, right? Like you can be into everything that they're doing and love all of the pieces of the band, but not knowing the music feels a little weird to me. So, we've got a lot of new fans that are following. And when Dave goes into those deep tracks, like a lot of people like to call them, which really, if you're listening to this and the history is not something you really dig into, I mean, 35 years writing songs all along the way. And a lot of those songs have never made the surface on like a printed album, maybe on a live tracks eventually, but have never actually made an official album, if you will. And so there are many songs that just haven't been played in 20 years for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And we don't know the reason, right? But they're starting to pull out some of those songs this year, and that gives new fans a little bit of homework, right? Like, well, what is this Kit Kat Jam? What is that about, right?
Oh God.
Because that's far back. And then he plays it differently. Like one night he's going to play it with just music, and then a year down the line, he'll play it with the words. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is he just, he's just pulling stuff out of the vault. And we don't know how he chooses to do that.
Yeah. I have a story about that song.
Well, let's talk about it.
So 2000 Gorge, the CD and everything that they did, we stayed at the Motel 6 right across from the Best Westerns, which is where the band used to stay.
Yeah.
Before they did all the build up and they stay now out at the Gorge. So we stayed at the Best Western and you see all the buses. We stayed at the Motel 6. Across the street is the Best Western. We see all the buses. It's like, all right, we're going to go check it out.
Heck yeah.
So there's a bar. I mean, they've remodeled it since, but there was a bar in there. And I don't know, there was like no security. I don't know what was going on, but we get into the bar. We meet Butch. We meet Stefan. This was after the night one show.
My goodness.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on? We meet Leroy. Boyd was in there, but Carter and Dave were not. Well, we get to meet all these guys.
Yeah.
And who else was there? Stephen Harris, the producer of Busted Stuff.
What? You just walked into a room that a lot of people would like to walk into.
Oh, yeah, they're all hanging out. And Butch was there. But so during that weekend, I think the second day we went early and tried to get in to get some lunch. And Stephen Harris was in there and Bruce, who was Dave's, I think he was the RCA representative. And we start talking smack to him about basketball and he wants to challenge us, whatever. But Stephen is like, we're asking him some questions and we ask about Kit Kat Jam because it's the only instrumental.
Right.
Besides, I think 32 or something. Anyways.
Yes.
So he said that he's the one that convinced them to do it as an instrumental. Dave was writing words for it. And with him and words, it kind of, some songs go really fast, some songs don't. But he was like, no, it has to be an instrumental because the way it was played. And so that was like a little bit of inside information that was amazing to hear. Like he was the one that kind of pushed that idea to make it an instrumental on the album.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So
really cool. Interesting.
It was,
and so I wonder if those original, I mean, I guess I would assume that those original words that he was trying to write, but never got, and now they are, is that the original words or did he read? Who knows? There's so many questions and there is just no one to give us these answers. So we just keep asking anyone that will listen and hoping someone has an answer.
And I would have never believed it, but the guy that produced the song was sitting right next to me.
That's wild. I mean, you never know, right?
Yeah.
You never know who you're sitting next to.
Which I got another song. I got another one. This is my favorite story of all time. So people talk about, does the band listen? Do they hear us when we ask for things, right?
Like at a concert or just in general?
Just in general. Now it's online and everything. But when we say, bring this song back or do this, or do they really hear us because we're so removed from the actual organization?
Right.
But my friend and I went to New Mexico to see them. The first time they played, I can't remember the name of the venue. I think it was 97 or 98. So we get into New Mexico the day before the show. And there's not, New Mexico doesn't have a lot of big buildings and fancy stuff. So we're like, where the heck would they stay? Well, right in downtown is a Hilton. And I think Hilton was like their go-to
Sure.
hotel because the way they were treated.
Right.
And we're like, okay, we're gonna check that out. So we go into the bar and we're just sitting there for a couple hours. We had food and stuff. Then these 4 guys walk in, and you're like, okay, they're not from New Mexico. Ended up being the So Live, the opening band.
No way.
They sit down. I'm like, I think that's So Live. Like 10 minutes later, Dave walks in with who's his manager? Carmen? I can't remember his name.
His manager? I don't know.
They both walk in and sit with a couple down the end. And we're like, oh my God. But we don't want to bug them,
Right.
There's
Of
not
course.
very many
Yeah.
people in this place, and no one really knows. I don't think the people that were in there were looking for Dave Matthews like us.
Right.
And we're like, oh, now we're going to be stalkers. So we said, no, we'll keep it cool. So we stayed a little bit longer. The night goes in more and more. Bartender goes, last call. And Dave gets up and they start shuffling out. And we're like, oh, please. So he stops at one table, takes some pictures, and then stops at our table. And we're like, hey. And I have a picture with him that we took.
No way.
Yeah. And he stayed for, maybe a couple minutes. Hey, we came from San Diego and thank you very much. We're all walking out together to where the elevators are. And my buddy Josh goes, hey, Dave, play Big Eyed Fish. Up to that point, it had not been played. The first song of the encore was Big Eyed Fish the next night.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did y'all totally freak out when that happened?
Oh, we lost it. We're like, there's no.
That was us. That was us right there.
Yeah, I swear. And we had people around us and we told them about the story. And then they start playing that song and everybody's like, what?
Right? You feel like no one's going to believe this.
No. Again, I wouldn't unless I was standing. When my buddy Josh said it, Dave kind of looked at him and kind of gave him a little smirk, like, okay. And then they play it. So I know that they listen.
Yeah.
I know that message gets out there. I know they get bombarded with a lot of them, but sometimes one of them will get through.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to be, but it's pretty amazing.
They are listening. They are listening.
They are.
And did you have an opportunity to watch the show? What is his name? Seth Meyers. He has a late.
The interview?
Were you able to watch that? What do you think about that? I have
great.
So many things to say about that interview that I love.
Yeah, it's just he's so I don't know. It's just his mannerisms are so fun because he's nervous.
He's so nervous. He doesn't like to talk.
He doesn't know what to do. And you're like, how are you nervous? And it's like, because he's just human. He's just a human.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And authentic.
Yes.
And that's just who he is.
Right.
It's great. It's so fun.
And for anybody that's seen the inside of one of those studios, they're very small. So you've got, like 200 people and like all the lights and cameras and this and that and people putting makeup on you and all this weird stuff that doesn't happen before a Dave Matthews Band show. Like I fully believe Dave's not coming out in any powder for his shows, right? Like it's not happening. Yeah. But what I loved about the interview was they really did kind of focus on what I love, which is the fans, right? Seth just said, he went back to like, this was a grassroots band. And that gave Dave the opportunity to kind of talk about the tape trading and how really the move from east to west was people sharing the word about this music. And so, they just gave such credit to the fans. And so I know that somebody all the time is watching what people are thinking and saying, negative or positive, whatever, and just taking that in and like taking it into consideration of whatever. Yeah. Especially, after 35 years, they've built a relationship with their fans. There are fans that have literally come from the beginning, and you are definitely one of those and are still showing up at shows. And so it's just a really cool thing to be a part of. So have you seen the band recently? Like, do you continue to see them throughout your fanhood, like on a regular basis?
2020, and I didn't catch any of the Caravan shows when they did the Caravan. So those are the only 2 years that I missed.
Wow. So this has really been a huge part of your life.
Yeah, big.
Yeah, through everything, through every milestone of your life. Yeah, through marriage, through having children, and speaking of children, what are your kids? I don't know how old they are, but what do they think about Dave Matthews Band?
Well, you'll love this story. My son Jackson's 15, and my daughter's named Colette. She's 13. So I'm embroiled in teenagers.
Yes, you are.
Which is why the color of my hair.
Yeah, that's why I dye my hair.
but Jackson went to his first show at 8 years old.
Awesome.
And Colette, I think she was about 8 or 9. She's only been to one, but she's going to the Gorge this year.
Oh my
But
goodness.
Jackson's been to at least 30. I've taken him to at least 30
What?
shows. Yeah.
What? So he's
So,
all
yeah,
in.
8 to 15. He's seen a lot of shows.
Oh my goodness. More than
Yeah.
a lot of other fans. So what does
And
he
now,
like about it? I mean, does he genuinely love
oh yeah.
he
He
loves the
plays bass.
music.
He plays bass guitar. He's learning guitar this coming year. So like
Awesome.
the music bug to play has really it's caught him big time.
Does he like he loves following Stefan? Stefan's an amazing
Oh yeah.
bassist play.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He was what do you call of course
He
if
was
you
like a
don't know the
savant.
history of Stefan. Yes, exactly. That's where I was
Yeah.
going. He
16 or
was
7.
literally built to be
Yeah.
a bass player. And, he remains to be one of the top that people are going to name. And
Oh
of
yeah.
course, he
He's
has the
so
longevity that most bass players don't have.
yeah. He's so underrated as a bass player because he's just quiet and kind of his own thing. He's always been, that in the back just doing it.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you watch him, he is good.
He definitely of course I don't know Stefan. I've never met Stefan or anything like that. But being on the West Coast and talk about surfing and then just his mannerisms on stage, he looks like a type of dude that's just super chill, just
Yeah.
goes with the flow, super chill, just I'm gonna be here, kind of thing. And that's cool. I mean, he literally has grown up in this band because
Oh
there's
yeah.
stories, of course, about them having to sneak him into gigs because he wasn't old
Because he
enough to
wasn't.
get in.
Yeah. He couldn't stay after because he couldn't be in a bar.
So great. Literally these people have grown up before us and seen different versions of themselves, and we've had the pleasure of watching all of them just in their lives, like Dave becoming a father, Dave getting married, Dave now having grandchildren. And it's such a beautiful thing to have watched these people that we admire in their professionalism, just all of the things that have happened to them. They've grown old just like we have grown older too, right? But the cool thing about the fan culture now is they continue to bring new people in, right?
Oh yeah.
Old,
I s-
young, in between, just like you said, 15-year-old, been to a lot of shows because he digs their music and appreciates their professionalism in all of this. They're so good and so interesting to play. I hope that we are far away from the band changing, whatever it changes to next, whatever their form looks like next.
Yeah. Well, so I kind of picked up on something this tour so far. I want to know your opinion.
What you got?
Does it feel like they're auditioning fiddle players?
So that has been the topic of everyone's, right? Because we're bringing in a couple different fiddle players
All of a
already.
sudden, the fiddle's out there.
Right.
And it's not just one show. It's not just Jake. It's
No,
others.
it's many
And I'm
people,
like,
many people. I
listen,
don't know. I don't have a connection, of course, to Dave Matthews Band or anyone that would know those things, but it can look that way.
yeah.
I think that there's a deep knowing that a lot of their fan base, especially the older fan base, if you will, I don't want to say older like we're old, but the older,
I'm
the
old.
people, the OGs, whatever we are,
No, I'm old.
they have a love for that just because that's the sound they fell in love with originally, right? And there are some songs that cry for the fiddle, literally, when it's not there, you're like, damn, I can hear it anyways. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I
I
mean,
love it.
I'm open for anything. I'm really down for whatever.
Even if it just becomes like a guest thing for certain
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Even that is a cool, what a way to try to reintroduce it. And I've been watching a lot of the couch stuff. And when that starts playing, just their response to it, the band just you could tell Dave's oh my,
Right.
it just brings that whole other energy to it. I don't know. It's really cool.
And maybe that brings a youth feeling back to him too, right? Because that's how literally one of the founding members was a fiddle player, right? And so it's there's something about it, and it doesn't have to be about the person, right? That's playing the fiddle. It's about the sound that it brings. And, I don't want to replace a person for a person. I would love some additions. Hey, you want to bring more people in? I love it. But don't take anyone away because I love everyone that's in the band right now.
Oh yeah, no, when Buddy finally started getting going after that first tour.
Yes.
Holy whoa.
No one wants to see him move. And I think he loves it. He loves this band.
Good. Yeah.
I heard him, he was doing an interview, maybe just for SiriusXM or something. but which is Dave Matthews Band channel. He was like, I've never worked with a band that is so flexible in your sound, and really there's no known errors. You know, like if you're playing a song the same way all the time, if you mess up, it's very noticeable. But being able to just jam and play and do and like have no set expectations in the song. Let's just flow through it. Well, those mess ups aren't necessarily as easily captured, right? Because we don't know what you're going to do. So everything is perfect to us and to them and to the band. So, you know, it's really cool to hear his perspective on, he loves the freedom that this band has given him in a way. Just with previously being with other people, other bands, other performers, it was more of just like, these are the notes I play, XYZ, whatever, you know, ABC. I don't know all the notes, whatever, ABC. And then it can never be CBA, like never. And it is that way with Dave Matthews Band. So I can see where it's like a really comfortable place for him to be. And he has settled in. We love him. We love the vibe that he brings because he's one of the happiest people on the stage, right? Like he's just so happy to be there, or at least gives it the appearance. And I believe that it's like true. I don't think it's a fake look. He genuinely loves what he's doing. And the sound that he brings, like some shows you really feel like, hey, did we just end up in church, right? Because like he brings all those organ skills to it too. And it's so good. It's so good. And so I love his addition and his new flavor that he's added to this whole recipe that we love as a band. Really, really cool.
For sure. He's unreal.
So we're in 2026. This is a big year because it is the 35th anniversary of the band. Now, so far in this year, there's not been I don't think there's been a celebration, right? As far as like the band announcing like, hey, this is 35, woo, right? You know, whatever. Yeah. I think that's coming, Derek. I do. I think that's coming this fall. But in what form, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could it be the Sphere? Could it be just Charlottesville? With just, I say that like just. No, could it be Charlottesville? I would love that. So let it celebrate 35 years.
Bring it back to where it started.
Yes. How amazing. Yeah. Had do a weekend or do whatever, but I definitely think, and again, I have no connections with anyone. This is just me speculating. You can't skip an anniversary like this. You can't. Yeah. I don't think you should. Like, because we're not promised tomorrow, and they sing about that all the time. We don't know if we'll make it to 40. We have no fucking idea what we're doing, right? Let's celebrate 35. Let's celebrate these milestones. And I feel like we'll have a fall tour, which is exciting to know about. But that's
because they usually end up with Madison Square Garden, but I wonder if they flip it, you know, instead of ending there, they end it in Charlottesville.
We'll see. We'll see. You know, well, hopefully
California got skipped. So
yeah, but last year California had 3 shows, I believe. 3. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
Was it 3?
I mean, Irvine.
2.
Was it Irvine?
Maybe it was just
2 shows in Irvine.
Yeah, was there 2 nights in Irvine? Anyways, yeah, California hey, you could be Arkansas. So just keep that in mind. Like you could be Arkansas.
You get 0.
Well, that's not true. Our last show was 2023, which was an epic year because it was an album release year. So I was like, okay, we're excited. Here we go. And then I'm going to say it because I know it. They did get scheduled here this year, but then Disney took over, and that's cool. Oh. Like I would pick Disney too, of course. And so they skipped out Rogers, Arkansas, which was on the list for the same days as Disney. And so I know what happened. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. I would have made those same decisions. And I'm sure they were going to make a lot more money doing that.
Forget the mouse.
Can you imagine bringing your kids and what an experience for the band.
You see the castle and stuff like crazy.
Amazing. So amazing.
I was watching Rob Stevenson, his vocal coach. I was watching his live stuff, and he's off to the side and just, videoing them up on this. I was like, that's crazy.
Wild. The only thing that would have made that better is if we would have been there, right? Like the fans.
Yeah.
Because it was a very corporate event. Were there fans there? Yes, I know. Yes, there was, but not a lot. Not a lot of people appreciated that were there.
That place would have went off.
It would have been magical for real.
Yes.
So, do you plan on doing any shows this year to celebrate 35 years?
Yes.
Or have you already?
So I'm doing the Gorge.
Okay, awesome. And with your daughter, is your whole family going?
Yeah, because it's it's 35 for them, and then I'm hitting a number that I want to celebrate.
Oh, yay.
So
Good.
my sister, my nephew, there's about 8 or 9 of us that are going.
Oh, it's going to be
So
awesome.
we're all,
Celebrate, we will.
yeah.
You've got 2 reasons.
Yeah. And only my son and my wife have been there. So all the other ones have never been.
Oh, wow.
So they get
So
they get to see it for the first time.
just the views, just the views are
Yeah.
it's so beautiful there. It's so beautiful there. Well, that's a really exciting. You get 3 shows, and gosh, if it was anything like last year, man, I mean,
I
every
know.
single one of us was wanting to be there.
Yeah. I planned on it, but then we had something come up and I had to skip it. So
Sure.
I was like,
Well, it's
what?
nice that it's so close to you, though. Like the
Yeah.
Mecca is what they call the gorge, and you're not that far.
Yep.
How I don't even know how far is
So
that for
10
you?
hours.
10.
It's
Okay,
10.
that's far.
So my nephew lives in Boise, which is right in the middle. So we go to Boise, stay overnight, and then the next day go up and then come back the same way.
Wow.
So yeah, it's worth the drive for sure.
Oh, totally. I mean, I'm sure it's beautiful. A drive from, up there.
Yeah.
It's about 800 miles from my house, and so I will never drive that. Never, ever, ever. We've been once, and we did fly, and that just is wonderful. I don't know if I'll go back. It's such a big trip. It is
commitment.
the Mecca.
Well, that's the one thing about it is that that everybody that's there, they really wanted to be there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would like a drop-in service, like a helicopter, lower me down for the show, pick me back up, fly me back to Seattle. Okay, let's go to the gorge.
Yep.
I'm not a camper.
I'm not either.
I want to go back one day and do like a nice Airbnb. And we got an RV last time we went, but I'm not an RV person either. So I don't know. They need to build some massive hotels out there. Come on. Where's the Hilton when you need one?
Yeah, there's plenty of land out there. Trust me.
Yes. The land should not be that expensive.
There's a lot of room.
I know most people really do like to camp at the gorge, though, because it is an experience, right? Like you're there, you're literally with it for the 3 days. And so people can believe that it'll take a little way of if you're leaving, but there are all kinds of people that leave and do fan buses and all of these things. So there's a million ways to do the gorge. It's just you gotta go a million times to do all the million ways, right?
Yeah. Or you just pick the one that's really nice that you like and just do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a great way, but I gotta find the way. So we'll make our way back to the gorge one day. And until then, we're thankful for the couch tour. If those of you that are listening or watching have never heard of the couch tour, it's a free way to go to every single show that Dave Matthews Band puts on. It is literally brought to you by fans. It's another wonderful thing that fans are doing just because they want to share this gift of music. This music is medicine to a lot of people. It can bring you up when you're feeling down and make you happy. And so you just go to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, simply look for the group DMB Couch Tour, and you just click, you get accepted or not. You'll have to ask a few questions. So you'll have to know a few things about Dave to get in, but then that gives you the ability to watch every show. So like there's a show tonight, you could watch it tonight, and probably from the pit. There's always a couple of different views because a couple of different people will be streaming if the internet is good enough, because sometimes there's those venues where no one has service. And so, it's hit or miss. But for the most part, every single show is on there, even Mexico, even the Dave and Tim shows. And so I encourage you all to go. We're so thankful for all of those people that sacrifice their muscles to hold the camera for 2 hours. I could never do that. I could never do that. I'd have to have like something holding my arm. But we're thankful those people do, because we do watch the couch tour on the regular if we're not able to get to a show. And then it doesn't feel so bad. Like I didn't get to go, but I did get to watch, and in real time, and with all the comments of people saying whatever they say, there's something cool about that. And I love having the ability to do so. So is that something that you use this year when they're doing some shows?
Yeah. When I have the time, or depends on the venue, when I think something might happen. Certain venues get certain things sometimes. So you kind of.
True. It's true. You never know. Did you have a chance to watch West Palm Beach?
Yes.
So good. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. It always is, though. That's like one of those
They,
venues where like they're going to do something great there. I don't
they,
know why, but they
they
love it.
like that Florida.
Well, and you
They
got to
like
do it
that.
early. I'm so thankful they do it in May because it
Oh
was
God.
still hot, you know? Can you
Yeah.
imagine waiting until July to do like Texas and Florida? Gosh,
Yeah.
we would all need paramedics.
Yeah. You couldn't. No way.
We're too old for that kind of heat. Don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't do
Heat,
it.
heat stroking all over the place.
Especially, you know, people that come from the north and don't know about the
Oh yeah.
South's heat. Like,
Yeah. I'm from the
okay,
desert.
it's different. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
You
It's
add
different.
humidity, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm not doing it.
It's just different. You're just swampy
Yeah.
all day, but you got to keep pouring in water. You may feel like you're hydrated because you're sweating all the time, but nope, you got to put in so you can let out. It's crazy, but they got those out of the way this year. Such a good run already. So many exciting things that have happened this year, and I don't think it's gotten to its peak yet. We'll see what happens. Deer Creek is coming up, which is always such a big deal. They always
Right.
do something.
Where I met you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's where
it's a
I
big
first met you there.
deal. It's a big deal. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Because that's when we were there. Yeah.
Yep.
Justin and I were there. We set up a
Yep.
little table and did the whole thing, and we met so many amazing people.
I went solo and was hanging out with the guys from antsmarching.org, but you were right next to them. So
Yes. Isn't it cool to hang out with all the fans and then you find out, oh, this dude does this or she does that or whatever. Like the fans, again, that's what this podcast is about. The fans are doing incredible things. The people that stay up and do the after shows. There's a guy, Concert Vids, 31 of the songs. It's like 34. I don't know. He does. I can't remember what is, but you know, if you don't know, just look up Concert Vids on YouTube. He does a post show after every show that Dave Matthews Band puts on. He does kind of a collection of whatever clips he's received, you know, just kind of like the news after the news,
like
right?
Live reporting.
But he's either there or he's not. And so there's just so many cool fans doing things for nothing, right? Other than just marking it in history and talking about this because we don't know how long we have it. And that is so amazing what the fans are doing and that the fact that they've leashed onto this and never let go. It's such an important story. So thank you so much for letting me record part of yours. And your history continues, right? Like hopefully we have many years ahead of us. And so I definitely invite you to come back on the show and fill us in on where we left off and tell us what's new because we never know what's going to happen, right? Maybe the next time you come on the show, we'll have gone to the Sphere. Can you imagine?
I think that's the one I'm thinking next. Yeah.
We need tickets. Like it's gonna be that's it again. It stresses me out, makes me happy, but it stresses me out. Like I gotta be there for all of which is gonna be $1 million, I'm afraid.
I have access to a house, so
yay! I need all the connections.
Yep.
I need all of them. Because Vegas is a trip for me too. But thankfully we have, every airport has direct flights to Vegas, right? Because Vegas wants you to come out there. No problem getting there. I could probably get there for like $80 today.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's just once you get to Vegas, that's where you start like throwing out the money, right? Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on this show, guys. If you're listening to this right now on a podcast app, if you can do one favor for me, one of the things that pushes this show out into all the algorithms and shows up for other people that are maybe listening to similar information, write a review on the podcast. You can just say 2 words, write the review, and it helps share the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, subscribe to the show. It'll let you know when the next one is available. You can also listen to the podcast through YouTube. There is a podcast section on YouTube if you did not know. So another place to find your podcasts. But subscribe, like, do all the things that your teenager tells you to do on all of these videos. And it just, again, it helps push it out to people that may be interested in, hey, what do they got to talk about Dave Matthews Band? And hey, we're talking about you. Those of you that are listening, those of you that are watching, and us too, we're talking about the fans of Dave Matthews Band. So if you have a story that you would love to document, even if you think you don't have a story, the fact that you love Dave Matthews Band, that's all it takes to get on this show. So if you're watching this, you're going to see my email address across the screen right now. If you are listening to this on a podcast app, just know that you can go to the show notes and it will be there also. Send me a little email, say, hey, I'd love to be on the show. That's all I need to know. And then we'll go from there as far as scheduling. Derek, I know we were a little back and forth, but has this process been easier than what you thought once we got going?
Yeah, super
Yeah,
easy.
good. Good. I like for everyone to say that. And I know, would you say it was a bad experience right now? Please do. But he had a good experience. I hear that from everyone. I think the hardest part is just leading up to the part where we meet. And then it's just a phone conversation, basically, of two friends sitting in a room together. Not really, but yeah. And talking about something that we love. So it's a genuine, easy conversation because people that like Dave like to hear about Dave. And Derek was able to tell me things that I have never knew, was never there. So it's his own experience, and he's sharing it with me. And I know that you guys have loved this story too. And so, Derek, I invite you to come back, come back and share
Sure.
your future journey with us and anything we may have left out. But guys, in the meantime, after you subscribe to all of the channels, write the reviews, do all the things. Follow us on social media. We're on all TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Follow. Again, that's the way you'll know who's coming up next to be on the show. We're going to put out a show every week while tour season is going on. So a new fan every week. It'll give you something to listen to in the car on the way to the show, on the way to work, while you're working out in the gym, wherever you find time to listen to something that you are really going to love. You're going to love hearing these fan stories. Like I said, you can jump from episode 1 to episode 200. There's no right or wrong. There's no rhyme or reason when it comes to this podcast. You just listen to the episode you listen to. You don't have to listen to it in any certain order, and that's comfortable. You've never missed out on anything. Wherever you land is where you're supposed to land. So I invite you to do that. But guys, in the meantime, we'll see you on the road. Peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band.